So my name is Chris Gallagher. I'm the Marketing Operations Manager for United Engineers and Constructors. Our Salesforce implementation we undertook back in we started in early mid 2021 with a discovery phase with Algoworks to help us bring our instance of Salesforce into fruition and for us to be able to use. We approached Algoworks as one of 3 to 4 potential partners and got with Algoworks because we felt comfortable with their approach as well as their cost model to implement our phase. And again, we were on a previous instance with a predecessor company who used Salesforce. They sold us off, but gave us our Salesforce information that we had in a gigantic spreadsheet of information. We approached Algoworks and they helped us implement Salesforce into something that we can use. When we were first approaching Salesforce, again, we went to Salesforce directly to get our license with them for our people to use. And we have no admins. We had no Salesforce professionals within our organization. Salesforce typically doesn't implement Salesforce for you. You have to do it yourself or find a partner to do it with. So I visited the AppExchange part of Salesforce and did some research through there, found Algoworks plus a couple of other potential partners, and then approached those partners to essentially work with us to develop a plan of attack on implementing Salesforce. Ultimately, we chose Algoworks again because we felt comfortable with them. I felt comfortable, and we proceeded down the path with Algoworks for I would say 8 to 10 weeks, and was happy with that, from the get-go. As far as experience with Algoworks, again, you have the language barrier issue, which in itself was negated almost immediately. There was no issue with language barrier. The only other barrier you have is, again, you're working from the United States to India with the people from Algoworks, so you have a time difference of 11, 12 hours. I'm not sure how many hours it is, but typically if I submitted a question or something I wanted Algoworks to address, I would get into the office between 7 or 8 o'clock the following morning, and their answer would be in my inbox. So again, you don't get an immediate response. So you're not getting something back in 5, 10, 15 minutes, but typically within the next day when you get back to work, you have information back from Algoworks to help you address issues or uncover other parts of the implementation that needs to be worked with. So as far as what I want to highlight with Algoworks is we incorporated Deltek costpoint into our Salesforce instance. There didn't seem to be many companies that could do that, other than some that would develop an app for you. They would charge you a monthly rate, monthly fee, yearly fee, some kind of a licensing structure as an app that would integrate Salesforce data into Salesforce. But through Algoworks, they were able to develop either through code or some other process that they were able to pull in data for us from Deltek costpoint into Salesforce so that we can track costs. We went with a cost on a weekly basis. Daily was not necessary, but weekly. So now we can keep track of our financial spend when we're pursuing opportunities or whether we're trying to track costs on a project-specific level. Algoworks helped us implement that into our Salesforce. That alleviated the stress of having to go back to our internal finance team to have them run reports and then us to manually enter data into Salesforce to keep track weekly what's going on with our pursuits or how much money we're generating on revenue for a project or how much money we're spending. So that was the biggest plus for us, was that extra integration piece that typically wasn't able to get done other than through either some other yearly app licensing you'd have to do with a third-party vendor, but Salesforce was able to work with Algoworks and get that integrated into through a custom code that Algoworks helped develop. So the biggest benefit we got from the company was now we can track our opportunities because we have licensed out those licenses we had to our salespeople. So they input the data into Salesforce. We can track pretty much live as to what our pipeline of projects or prospects are coming up. So as on the quality side, I would say Algoworks would be up there at the top with everybody else. Any other partner, the quality would probably be the same. I didn't really have any issues other than when we were going through the discovery and pre-live launch. We had to work out some kinks, but Algoworks was able to work out those kinks and even develop some additional means for us to get data populated that we wouldn't have been able to get elsewhere. Algoworks was the best price point. The value for dollar for what we got was probably better than what you would get from other partners. Their knowledge of Salesforce was up there at the top with anybody else that you would probably find out there doing the same similar implementation of Salesforce. So again, I would recommend Algoworks to anybody who's looking to implement their Salesforce instance. Either as a first-time instance, if you've never used Salesforce before, Algoworks was who I would go to, or even if you already have an instance of Salesforce and you just don't have that in-depth in-house knowledge of Salesforce, you can rely on Algoworks to help you implement changes or other things you want to do within Salesforce. Again, we're a small company. We don't have certified Salesforce admins. We don't have the in-house knowledge of Salesforce. So we're basically mostly users with very little administration knowledge, and Algoworks has that knowledge. Yeah, we're looking to partner with Algoworks again for another part of another implementation piece that we're looking to do, which is to use the Experience Cloud to essentially bring in additional opportunities that are funneled through not really our salespeople, but through our project management team that work with our clients. They get opportunities of future work that typically we don't capture in Salesforce, and hence not capturing in Salesforce, we don't get a clear vision of our pipeline of what the future work is for us. So we're looking to expand Salesforce into the Experience Cloud in order to get our additional employee staff that has those opportunities to get those opportunities into the Experience Cloud, connected into our Salesforce full instance, so that we can then track those additional opportunities of revenue that we typically wouldn't have been able to track